happens in Great Britain or in Canada is where she was speaking from, okay? And she did not back down.
No.
That's our problem, we back down.
That's right.
Nobody wants to say anything because you don't want to be laughed at. And here's a girl 42 years old that said, you know what, laugh at me all you want, I'm making a stand. And, you know, I don't know, I don't think there should be a dry eye in here for a gal who's willing to, she's the same age as my daughter. And we called my daughter Fire Star. I think that gal's got a little more fire than my daughter's got there. But see, you got to go through some things in life before you're going to accomplish some things. So we have the benefit of having Sue Nellis from Compassion Pregnancy Center is going to come and share with us. So I want you to welcome Sue Nellis as she comes, all right?
Well, I am so honored to be here with you today, and one of the really interesting things is that I know that this is God ordained that I am here today. I knew that He had a plan for me to speak someplace today, and nothing that I was trying was working out. And then this week I got a call, and hey, this is last minute, but is there any way that you're available this Sunday? And I'm like, Lord, I was waiting on you. I knew you had a plan. There it is, absolutely. So I'll share a little bit about me in just a moment. But first, a question. Do you believe that God has a plan and a purpose for every human life that He creates? Do you believe that? Yes. And if He does, is every human life valuable?
Yes.
Every single one. Yes. So, what about those children who'll be born into less than ideal family circumstances, or whose conception was unexpected? What about those children who are a product of rape or incest? Do they have value? Are they God's own creation? It's a really important question to ask. We'll come back to those thoughts, but first, as Pastor Warren said, I'm Sue Nellis. I'm honored to be here. I serve our Lord as Executive Director of Compassion Pregnancy Center, and our ministry is celebrating our 26th anniversary this year of coming alongside those in our community who are experiencing unexpected pregnancy, encouraging them to choose life and to follow Jesus. But you have an anniversary as well. As you said, this congregation has been supporting Compassion for 25 years. Wow. Goodness, give yourself a hand. Absolutely. So today is Sanctity of Human Life Sunday, a day each year when we bring attention to the tragic ruling of the Supreme Court in Roe versus Wade and Doe versus Bolton. We all hear about Roe versus Wade, but there actually were two decisions. And they were both handed down January 22nd, 1973. These opinions, and note that the Supreme Court issues opinions. Yes. They do not issue truth. No. They issue their assertion, and they're wrong. They're wrong. Yes, absolutely. So these opinions ruled that women throughout the nation had a constitutional right to abortion, free from any restriction in the first trimester and with only limited restriction in the second and third trimester. In Oregon today, and there are other states, but this is the most heinous, they have a woman governor who noted a few summers ago that she was honored and happy and overjoyed to sign legislation that would give an abortion to anyone at any time for any reason. Wow. So you could literally be 38 weeks pregnant, not even living in Oregon, and find out from an ultrasound that you were having a boy and you wanted a girl. I'm done. Abortion would be the answer, and the state of Oregon would pay for it. Wow. That is heinous. Since January 22nd, 1973, there have been many, many lives taken in the United States. As of this morning, over 60,990,000.
Wow.
And that's just in this country since 1973. And note that those statistics are low because states like California and New York do not report their abortion statistics. And so there are suppositions made based on population and based on perceptions, so that number is probably even low. But know this, abortion is not a legal issue, it's a moral issue. It's an issue of us needing to stand up and line up behind what God says and not behind what the opinions of men and women say. It's a tragedy for the unborn babies, but it's also a tragedy for the parents and for all of this. But my response to all of this is, but Jesus.
Yes.
I have a coffee cup. It is a phrase that anyone that knows me much, it's like, there it is again. Yep, but Jesus. And so that is my refrain to this as well. The law in our practice in our nation is wrong, but Jesus. Our community is severely impacted by this, but Jesus. And moms and dads carry wounds from abortion, but Jesus. So there is a problem that requires our standing against, but there are also lives that require our standing for. We need to be known as not just what we are against, but about what we are for.
Amen.
And that is part of why compassion exists. We are a Christ-centered outreach that empowers those who face an unplanned pregnancy to choose life. Our vision is a community that recognizes that all human life is sacred. All lives are valuable. All are created by God and in His image. And we are all called to stand in the gap, literally, between life and death. So Compassion Pregnancy Center is Macomb County's only medical pregnancy resource center. So who knows where Compassion's located? That's what I anticipated would happen. Just a few hands go up. Okay, so let me ask another question. Who knows where the Taco Bell is that is on Gratiot just north of 16 Mile Road? Probably more hands. We're literally right next door. So it's a good marker for us to be able to say to our clients, we're right next to Taco Bell, next driveway, so that's a good thing. So why do we need a pregnancy center in Macomb County, right? It's a nice suburban county, it's a great place to live, a great place to work. Well, it is. But it's also a place that experiences a great tragedy of abortion often. So according to the the Michigan Health Department, Macomb County residents experienced abortion in 2017 alone 2,736 times.
Wow.
So compare that to the number of live births, that was 9,252. So almost 25% of those live births, that number were aborted as well. So what that means is that there were more babies aborted by Macomb County residents than there are students at Chippewa Valley High School.
Wow.
Consider the outrage that would happen if something caused the entire school of Chippewa Valley High School to be killed, obliterated in one fell swoop. Well, that happens every year in Macomb County. And we don't hear a lot of outcry, do we? In 2017 alone, there were 26,594 abortions in the state of Michigan. So think of that new hockey arena, Little Caesars Arena, right? I'm a massive hockey fan, as is my family. But that abortion rate means that there were more lives sacrificed in Michigan in 1 year than the capacity of Little Caesars Arena plus 25%.
Wow.
Imagine the outcry that there would be if that happened every year, right? So we have a great deal of work to do, wouldn't you agree? We need to reach more moms and more dads and reach them sooner. So we've looked at some hard numbers. Some numbers that represent lives changed, hearts broken, because you don't walk away from an abortion unchanged. It doesn't happen. That is what the pro-abortion people would like you to think. No big deal. A clump of cells, get rid of it and walk away. But it doesn't happen that you walk away. So let's look, though, at how God is saving lives and healing hearts at Compassion. We have been absolutely blessed to have provided to us by the Knights of Columbus a new 3D ultrasound machine. And that is simply a game changer. It takes, for that woman and hopefully for the father of that baby, if we can get them to come in, something from theoretical, just in here. Well, I'm pregnant, but what does that really mean? I don't feel any different yet. I don't see any changes yet. It's just all an idea. So if I wipe away an idea, what's the big deal? Well, it takes it from that theoretical to, that screen that you're looking at, that's your baby's heartbeat. There's nothing theoretical about that. That's fact. And look at what is being done in your body. But know this, grace is key. Grace is critical. Absolutely must happen. We've seen an increase since we've had that 3D ultrasound machine of more women coming to us who are further along in that pregnancy. I would ask you to keep in prayer. Confidentiality for our clients is absolutely critical, but I spoke with a woman this week who didn't show up for her appointment. She's 22 weeks and has decided she can't do this. Pray that she comes in and we're able to show her what's happening, because she could still obtain an abortion in this state. She wouldn't even have to go to Oregon. That could happen right here. So, let's look though back at some of those good statistics that are happening. In 2017, we had a large number, and I'm going to 2017 because those are those Michigan statistics that I showed you. But let's look at what happened in 2017 at Compassion. We had a large number of women come to us who were either abortion vulnerable or abortion minded. Abortion minded means they've already decided before they came to us they're getting an abortion. They just want to come to us so they know how far along they are. That's okay. Come for any reason. Or they're abortion vulnerable. That means they've got circumstances in their life that put them at great risk for choosing abortion. They've not ruled it out. But in 2017, of those women that came to us that were abortion-minded or abortion vulnerable, we had 303 of them choose life. 303. So those babies are now alive, whose moms came to us needing equipping, education, support, and resources to make that brave choice for life. So we celebrate those life decisions. But we also recognize that it isn't enough for us to help these moms to choose life. We need to equip them to parent as well. We need to not be about choose life, okay, you did, you're on your own. We need to help them. And so in addition to providing free pregnancy tests, limited 3D ultrasounds, we also provide physical, emotional, and spiritual support. We educate our moms and dads on pregnancy, fetal development, as well as alternatives to abortion. Making an adoption plan is one of the most loving things that a mom can do. So we meet with moms and dads every 4 to 6 weeks until that baby is 24 months old. We want to start seeing them as soon as they know they're pregnant. Come on in and let's start earning those baby bucks. When they come to their regular appointments in our education wing, our clients are able to choose from a myriad of curriculum options. Would they best be served learning about parenting? Would they best be served learning about a healthy, God-honoring relationship with their baby's father? Or do they need help growing in their relationship with Jesus or starting one to begin with? Those are all options that we have. And so every time a client comes to one of those appointments, they earn baby bucks and diapers and wipes. So they choose how they want to spend those baby bucks in our baby boutique, choosing things that their child needs. So our clients are not only better equipped, they have the dignity of having earned what they are providing for their child. This is such an important part of our ministry, helping these clients to know that they have value and abilities and are created in the image of God. Whatever has been stripped from them, we want to help restore by the power of Jesus. One of our most impactful equipping options is that of post-abortion healing and support. And I absolutely recognize that the abortion wound is deep, and that there are many women in our churches who have suffered that wound. Statistically, about 1 in 3 women in churches are post-abortive. And keep in mind, they didn't get pregnant on their own. That means those men are there as well. So we know that there is great wounds that have been suffered. And here again, I say, but Jesus. If you are hearing this and need healing, please do not continue to suffer. This is a divine appointment.
Amen.
You may be the reason that the Lord made it work that I'm here today. Do not continue to suffer. You don't have to. There is healing at the foot of the cross that can be had.
Amen.
We will help you no matter what. And it'll be confidential, and it'll be between you and Jesus with our help to bring you to the foot of the cross. Jesus is why we at Compassion Pregnancy Center work in our community. So, do you remember the questions that I began with? I asked if you believe that God has a plan and a purpose for every human life that he creates, and that every human life is valuable. Yep. So I absolutely believe those things. We saw God do some amazing things this past year. So let's go to our statistics page. I want to show you some things. And let's just run right through all of those. You can see some great statistics about what we've done this past year in 2018. But that bottom number is one that is, to me, a measure of our effectiveness. We had 357 clients hear the good news of Jesus Christ this past year. We care about how our clients fare in this life, but we also care about eternity. We care that that mom and dad are able to provide a home for that child that will foster their love of Jesus, that they will come early to saving faith, because we want to make sure eternity is secure for them as well. We also want those clients to know they're worthy of dignity and respect. So restoring what they have lost or never had is key. An unexpected pregnancy is not the end of their life. It's often the moment of crisis that opens their ears and their hearts to Jesus. Instead of a tragedy, they gain hope and love. And we have the great joy of seeing God at work. So we're happy to share that joy with you, and we always have room for additional volunteers. Please do consider spending some of your time and talents as a member of our team. There's a list of volunteer needs on my table out in the lobby, and I'd be happy to talk with you about that. The training is all on us. We will equip you, so please do prayerfully consider. But one final thing about the Ministry of Compassion is how we are funded. It isn't by charging clients or their insurance. Every single thing that we do is free to our clients. Every single thing. We operate under the license of an amazing OBGYN. She is a pioneer in her field. We are a medical clinic.
Amen.
We are. And so you will see, if you look at any of the pro-abortion folks, there's a campaign to to shut down pregnancy resource centers, calling us fake medical clinics and things of that. Those are simply barbs from the enemy, flaming arrows, and we know that the Lord will stand in our stead. But be in prayer for pregnancy resource centers, because the political climate in this state right now is not friendly towards us. But we do all of those things at no cost to our clients, because we're 100% funded by churches, organizations, individuals like you. So a couple of things that we have coming up. We have our banquet on Thursday, April 11. If you are interested in coming to that, please do let me know. It's an invitation event, but I would love to have you there. We have the president of Heartbeat International as our keynote speaker, and an amazing client testimony. We had a woman call about 4 or 5 months ago. She called and she's like, hey, you guys are still there? Like, yeah, we're still here. And she's like, I'm so glad. And she starts choking up, this woman that called. Well, is your nurse still there? Said her name. Yep, she's still here. Can I come and see her? I have something I want to show her. Yeah, absolutely. I said, can I ask what it is? Because security is important. It's my son. He's 4.5. And I came to you and was terrified that I was pregnant. And when I found out that I was, I thought, oh, I can't do this. I'm gonna go find out how I can have an abortion. And then there was the offer of the ultrasound at that same appointment. And she said, then I saw that heartbeat. And I heard how you'll walk with me until he's 24 months old, and all my questions he'll answer. I can call anytime, I can come when I need. You'll give me things to help me. She said, not only did you save his life, you saved mine. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I want to bring my 4.5-year-old son and show you. Oh my goodness, yeah, we're all crying at this point. She's going to share her testimony at our banquet, so you really want to hear that live from her. One of the other quick things that I want to share with you is what happened when we were looking at various machines to pick our 3D ultrasound machine. So if you've ever seen a 3D ultrasound, it's amazing the difference between 2D and 3D. But the technology, wow, talk about God using His wisdom for His glory and His benefit. A regular ultrasound machine, if you want to change the image that you're seeing, you have to move the probe on the woman's abdomen. A 3D machine, there's a button on the probe, you place it properly, you click the button, and there's an internal mechanism in the probe that sweeps across your entire abdomen. And then the software within the machine allows you to take it and change the axis and rotate. Well, we're looking at these different machines. We had a woman come in. Oh my goodness, I think that I'm gonna have an abortion here because I can't do this. Father, the baby doesn't know yet. We do an ultrasound on her and we see there's not one baby, there's 2. She's carrying twins.
Wow.
And she looks up at the screen and she says, I could abort one baby. I don't think I can do that with 2. I can't, I'm gonna have to figure this out because I can't abort 2. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, right? So she chooses life. She comes into our program, and then we thought, wow, if we're gonna look at various ultrasound machines and compare them to have 2 babies, that's even better. Would you be willing to come back and be a model? She's laying on the table. She brings father the baby back. He's never seen an ultrasound before. So we put that 3D probe on her, and the babies are up on the screen, and you can't even tell what part belongs to who. It is just a jumble of arms and legs and everything. But that father of that baby looks up, and he sees 2 hearts beating, and he bursts into tears. I'm crying, our nurse is crying, my mom's crying, we're all crying and laughing. But she pushes that button, that sweep happens, and all we can see on that screen is just an absolute mess, like I said, of arms and legs. But she takes that software and she turns and rotates those bodies. And we now see that those 2 babies are in the womb arms outreached towards one another like this. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But Jesus. But Jesus. That's right. So, one last thing I want to share with you. There's a website. If you ever need a dose of reality at how real abortion is in our county, I went on my phone to this website when Wyatt started singing his song, Speak Child. Numberofabortions.com. Since he began singing that song to this moment, worldwide, there have been this many number of abortions, 3,627 in this short amount of time. But Jesus, the battle is his. Thank you.
Wow.
Okay, wow, powerful, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, I know you probably have some questions. I have a question because a number of us play golf in the league with her son, and he's real good. He's about 6'4", 6'5", but he'll periodically say things. So I'm just wondering, when did Sue Nellis enter CPC's battle against this?
I have been executive director for just over 2 years.
So just over 2 years.
Over 2 years.
There's I want to challenge some of you women sitting out here thinking, oh, God could never use me.
That's right.
He can use you, okay? He can use you. Just as she was sharing, I thought, what an educated, knowledgeable way of presenting all the facts and figures here and around Macomb County. So when we bring it a little closer to home, not just national, not just statewide, but we get it into our county, and then now it becomes a little closer to home. It does for me anyhow. So that was very important for me to hear that. One other thing I wanted did any of you have any questions that you wanted to ask Sue? By uplifted hand. Joey.
Sure. Where's the...
Right there.
Here. My question is, back in the day, abortions could not be done in hospitals. Do you still need to go to a clinic? They're done in hospitals now.
Okay. Any other questions? Oh, Kip.
How do we get the world to see that there's a soul and a spirit put in that baby as soon as they're accepted?
So how do we get the world to see that there's a soul and a spirit in that baby as soon as
It's
consent?
because people cannot believe they're murdering someone.
Exactly, just because people can't believe they're murdering someone. You know, one of the things that I know is really key when we interact with our women and our men is that we speak with grace. They are already hearing that if you go to one of those Christian places, you're only going to hear judgment. But the pro-abortion side is all, oh, it's okay. If you really, really want to get aggravated, take a look at Shout Your Abortion. It's a website, and it literally is softening and bringing down the impact of abortions. They're talking to 4th, 5th, 6th grade children about no big deal, and you should shout your abortion, and you should be proud of that, and you ought not, because you don't walk away unscathed. But what they're hearing from those people is a message of grace far louder than they often hear from pro-life. So we need to be full of truth, but we also need to be full of grace. We need to bring them to the cross and help them to recognize that there is forgiveness. And when we speak with grace, we earn a passport with these women. We can speak harder truth than we would be able to if we were just forbidding. We need to balance grace and truth as part of how. And the earlier that science is able to see that heartbeat, to detect brain waves, science just continues to prove God. And so we need to find what is the language that we need to speak to reach that person. But how can we get the world to know it? That's something I think only God can do. But we just need to be faithful with our part.
Any other questions?
When they go to the hospital for abortions, who pays for it?
So abortions can be had at hospitals, at clinics. One of the most disheartening things in the battle is RU46, or the abortion pill. That is something that women can take the pill that essentially shuts off or blocks the absorption of the hormone needed for the baby to continue to grow. And then once baby's dead, she takes a second medication that expels baby from the body. That's done at home. So you don't even have to go to a hospital or an abortion clinic. And who pays? Some are insurance, if the woman is able to say physical, emotional, mental trauma. Some are privately funded. There's even a place that people can go to get donations to themselves to help to fund their abortion. Mm-hmm.
One more, if there is any. All right. Well, what we're going to do at this time, we are going to take up an offering. And so I want you to prepare your heart to receive an offering. Then one other thing, you know how we usually have a baby shower for a teen challenge? We have a baby shower for Abigail Ministries. I've asked Sue if it would be possible for us to have a baby shower for Compassion Pregnancy Center. She said absolutely not. That's not what she said. So we can't have a baby shower for Compassion Pregnancy Center this year. So I'm going to ask some of you ladies to put your heads together. Decide where you want to have it. If you want to have it in a large one in here, or you want to have it in the side room, that's fine, but we are going to have a baby shower for Compassion Pregnancy Center, and you'll keep us in touch with what you need down at the Compassion Pregnancy Center.
Yeah.
All right. At this time, we're going to receive...
Yes. Compassion Pregnancy Center?
Yep, Compassion Pregnancy Center. And those baby showers, one of the beautiful things that happens when those women take those baby bucks that they earn and they go into that store and they buy those beautiful things that you've provided with your baby shower, we're able to say a local church has extended their love of Christ to you in supplying those items. They would love to accept you into fellowship. It's a real hands and feet moment for them to see the churches are putting their money and their action where their words are. So thank you.
Sue was talking about 26 years ago. I remember standing on 23 Mile Road there, right across from the present bowling alley on 23 Mile Road there. And it was on the other side, it was just a real little bank parking lot there when we stood. And none of us knew what we were doing at that time, except we wanted to make a difference in Macomb County. And I'm serious, you could take 80 acres from the center of New Haven Road, from North Avenue all the way down to Gratiot on both sides, 80 acres deep, and you would not get all the crosses individually that are responsible for 60 million children being aborted worldwide. You couldn't get all the crosses in that much of a space. People, we've got it 5-4 right now in the U.S. Supreme Court. If they ever decide to come together, we could see Roe versus Wade. And if Ruth Ginsburg retires and a pro-life judge is appointed there, it would be 6-3. You could see Roe versus Wade overturned. That's a lot of prayer, but it could take place.